Premiership Power Rankings for round 21, folks. We're certainly getting near the business end of the season. I think the Tigers have already qualified for a playoffs spot. So, we'll see how things pan out for the remaining few rounds. And as always, you guys let me know how you reckon the rankings are looking. Still in 13th, I've got the Falcons. Maybe me putting their jersey on is going to give them some good mojo. Not that I think that's likely, because I don't think that's quite the way the world works. I mean, they got close against Wasps. So in terms of the last couple of weeks, there's perhaps been some encouraging signs, but still losses. So, they're 5 wins, 13 losses and a draw, and it's been a very long time since they tasted anything but defeat. So, promising start to the season's kind of turned to custard. Interestingly, I've got Bristol here, which maybe is a bit hard done by for Bristol, because by all accounts, you guys who watched the game in full, I missed that one in full, but the Saracens game, you guys tell me Bristol were kind of robbed, which probably would have seen them up the power rankings, but the fact that they lost that one means they are down. They drop a spot with that away loss. They're 6 and 13, so it's not the way their season was supposed to pan out, but sometimes you just don't get those calls, eh? Worcester I have got here. I've not really punished them because they didn't play a game at the weekend. They had to pull out with that cancelled game. So that's actually kind of put them up. They may have lost against Gloucester, which probably would have kept them below Bristol. But because they didn't play, they didn't get a loss. So I've not really changed anything up or down for them. They're just kind of finish the week neutral, but when another team gets a negative, that means you kind of, in that bizarre way, end up positive. So, Worcester ends up going up one because that cancelled game. Their record is 5-13-1, so the one draw. So kind of not much in it between them and Bristol. To be fair, Bristol does have one more win. But there you go. Bath, God, they were in 13th for so long. Can Bath do no wrong? They are the same still. They drew with Sale. They could have lost that if Faf had his kicking boots on for that second penalty, but they managed to walk away with a draw, which is not too bad, because in recent times, that Sale side's certainly been making their way up the table. So, 4-14-1. They still have won the fewest games of all the teams in the Premiership, but they've got a few weeks left to maybe pick up another win or two, maybe. And then, we'll see if they can get into the second row. Not likely. There's a bit of a gap between these four and then these guys here, London Irish. There's a substantial gap. London Irish have got down 4 spots, but that's only because them and the teams immediately above them are kind of, much of a muchness. So, London Irish down 4, big home loss to Northampton. They're 8-8-4, so they've had 4 draws, which is still more than anybody else, but I don't think they've had anywhere near like the season that these teams well into the negative have. They're still, at a 50-50 record, which is, as I said, more than we can say for the likes of a Bath or a Newcastle. So, London Irish are there. Wasps I have got in 8th. They only just kind of snuck over against Newcastle, which would have been a game they would be expecting to win. And they did, but they perhaps would have liked to do it in a more convincing manner, so they could have easily lost that one, but it also shows a bit of encouraging signs that they managed not to kind of flinch in that kind of key moment. So Wasps, same as last week, but these guys, the Saints, are up 2 with their, I think that must have been the biggest result of the week in terms of pure scoreline, right? Northampton, I can't remember the actual margins, but Northampton's win over London Irish was substantial, so they're kind of rewarded with that. It's an away win. It's a big win. So up 2 spots in the power rankings. They've got a positive record now at 10-9, which is the opposite of Wasps, who are 9-10. So, 1 win to the good. Exeter, doing a little bit of yo-yoing recently, are the Chiefs. Down 1 spot with that home loss to the Tigers. It's another one of those ones where there's no real shame in losing to the top side. But at home, they probably would have liked a slightly better showing than they got. So, down 1 spot for them. By no means the end of the world. And I think they're like 4th on the actual log. So, they're looking all right. And then Gloucester, by some bizarre turn of events, actually up 2 spots despite the cancelled game. It's another one of those ones where if teams around you, like Exeter, lose, then you kind of somehow managed to go up. So yeah, that's just kind of one of those things. 4th spot, it's still Sale, despite their less than convincing one at Bath. They would have certainly liked to get a win there in terms of their season, because they are 9 wins, 8 losses and 3 draws. So they're also racking up the draws. Yeah, like I said, if not for that kick, they would have had it. But certainly their second half of the season has been a lot better than the first. Quins were on the bye, so nothing doing for them. They're steady as she goes in 3rd. Saracens, steady as she goes in 2nd. Lucky maybe to get away with that one against the Bears, but it's a win no less. And Leicester, they've been pretty much rooted to this spot virtually every week I've done the power rankings. But yeah, 17-3. They beat Exeter away from home. They are absolutely looking the business. Believe it or not, prior to the start of the season, I put a $1 bet on Leicester to be the end of the regular season champion, and I even gave them like a points on the table start of like 10 or 13, so that's pretty much guaranteed $1 going to turn into $9, because they weren't predicted to do all that well. But prior to the start of the season, some people said look out for the Tigers, so I put my money where my mouth was, albeit only $1. I kind of wish I'd bet more, but that's how betting goes. You can't predict the future. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts on the rankings. How do you reckon the teams are shaping up? Who do you reckon are going to make the playoffs? Who do you reckon is going to miss the cut? And yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.